Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the recommendations I got from watching my fellow booktubers' historical romance reading vlogs. Sunday, all our vlogs came out. When I was watching these vlogs, there are some that there are some books that my fellow booktubers were reading that I legitimately did not know about. And there are some that I had on my TBR but I hadn't read yet, and there are some that I absolutely love. But I wanted to highlight some of their favorites, or the ones that they felt was their most successful reads in their vlogs. So without further ado, let's just get into talking about the books. For Ava, and all their videos are linked down below. I'll also link my vlog down below as well, if you want to go check any of those out. But this list is actually for me as well, because a lot of these, if I haven't read them, and I'll let you know if I've read them when I talk about them, but like this one that Ava loved, and she gave 5 stars. It's Bachelor Bargain by Madison Michaels. I've never even heard of Madison Michaels. I've never even heard of this book. This has disability rep in it. Never even heard of this. The heroine, she walks with a cane. I can't explain it the way Ava does, so if you haven't watched her video, please watch it, because she was so passionate about this book that it makes me want to. So I went out and looked it up. It's on My Hoopla. It has an audiobook. It has an ebook. This one's about Lady Olivia Halliford, who has had enough. She's tired of seeing women lose their power, lose their reputations, futures, and sometimes even their lives to scandal. And well, the men walk free. She's ready to take back power and stand up for women everywhere. Along with her 2 close friends, she plans to start an anonymous publication dedicated to dishing the dirt and exposing the secrets of society's most eligible bachelors. This sounds, between Ava's discussion of this book and this, sounds so good. But in order to do so, she must make a deal with the devil. Sebastian Culver, known as the Bastard of Baker Street, is featured throughout London as the city's most notorious gambling den owner, an undisputed king of the underground. His life is nothing but darkness and danger, so he is shocked when the petite lady gracing his doorstep seems anything but frightened of him. He agrees to be a silent partner in the publishing of the Gazette if she will use her connections to sponsor his sister and launch her into society and away from his dark world. This sounds really good. It has a 4.10 star rating. Between this and what Ava was talking about, I put this up directly on my TBR and absolutely will be reading this. So thank you, Ava, for this recommendation. I will definitely be reading this year. I will be continuing my reading enjoyment of historical romances in 2024. And in Tori's video, her 5-star was The Notorious Lord Knightley. This is book 2 in the Chessmen, which is the Masters of Seduction. This one I read and I loved, and I gave 5 stars. This is fantastic. This one is about Miss Regina Leland and the Lord Mysterious Lord Kay. She writes a publication that is very scandalous in the town, and you have to read this one. I won't tell you a lot about it, but this one I highly recommend. I know Christy from Christy Reads a Lot loved this one, gave it 5 stars. This one, you really honestly should be going in blind. Absolutely, this one you need to read. And I wholeheartedly agree with Tori's gushing if you've watched her video. She gushes about this, and I agree with everything she said about this. Lisa from Remarkably Lisa, and she had another video where she was talking about another person, Victoria Alexander. She talked about this one, so I took this one on her advice, and I went and ordered it. So I'm really excited to start reading this, except when I opened it up, it has a to be continued. It ends on a cliffhanger. So now I have to go buy the next one before I can start reading it. So thank you, Lisa. I didn't know it ended on a cliffhanger. So yeah. But she read in her blog, which the one that worked best for her was The Duchess and the Wolfwood by Lydia Drake. This one's been on my radar for a while. I haven't read it yet. So this one's about Susanna Fletcher. She's a very wealthy woman, and she has everything she really wants, including a really well reputation. Then she meets Rafe Winters, who was born on the streets of London, and his ruthless ambitions. He's missing a respectability, though, and it's their romance. Honestly, I've wanted to read this one for a while. April read this book. She gave it 4 stars. It's in Red Riding Hood retelling. She said she liked it. Lisa, she gave it a 3.5 stars and rounded up to 4. Lisa, I've been following Lisa for a very long time, and she does not hand out 5 stars very often. I barely remember her handing out 5 stars. So for her to give anything a 5 star it has to be blown away. She did not give a 5 star at all in her vlog, but this is the one that she liked the best in that vlog, and it's the one that I had my eye on, and April said it was also really good. So I'm gonna trust both of them and go ahead and add that one. But the next one I want to talk about, and this one was a favorite from April and Christy in their vlogs, and it's Any Duke in a Storm by Amelie Howard. Christy gave it 4.5 and April gave it 5. Their biggest complaint was that it was just a little long, but it's about a spy. Lady Lisbeth Medford, she's a spy. He's a duke, but I think he's also a spy, and I think he's also a pirate. So this is like a pirate spy duke, and she's a lady. When they both said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I am sold. Spy, duke, pirate, and the writing was impeccable. I'm sold. So Christy and April, I am sold. I've already added it I've already put my Libby hold on it, so I'm just waiting for it to come in, because I think I read maybe 1 or 2 Amelie Howard books, but this one, you guys convinced me with this one. I mean, a spy, pirate, duke, absolutely. So Tiff from Tiff Talks Pages, she gave 4 stars to Forever Your Rogue by Erin Langston. This has also been on my radar because everybody's loved this book. This one is A Marriage of Convenience, and it has a really, really good rating on Goodreads. It's 4.29 stars. This one is Lady Dane. Her name's Cora. She just got out of a pretty bad marriage, and she's a single mom now, and her in-laws are horrific, and now she faces the prospects of losing her kids until Nathaniel Travers needs to take some responsibility, and so they decide, I guess, to do a fake engagement, marriage of convenience type of a thing, and they end up falling in love. It sounds really, really good, and the way Tiff talked about it in her video just reaffirms that I definitely want to read this, and I've had it on my TBR, and I will definitely be getting to it very soon. The next one barely missed out on my top reads of 2023. If it wasn't for A Court of Mist and Fury, it probably would have been my top read of 2023, and that's Wolf and Wildflower. Zay from Whittier Reads read this and gave 5 stars. yes, this plot is very different. I remember, I think it was on, I remember a interview that Stacey Reed gave, and it was on Just From Peace Loves Books channel, I think it was. It was a while ago when this book was coming out. And she was talking about how she was doing some research, because I asked about this book because it was very interesting. It was a very unique plot, because Jules, she's been living like a man because her mom lied about her gender because her dad really wanted a son, and her mom couldn't handle another pregnancy. And so she's been living like a man for all her life, and nobody knows except for her and her mom. But she works with her dad as a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Anyway, and our hero, who's the Duke, was lost in the wilderness in Canada, and now he has to assimilate back into the ton, and he doesn't want to, but his mom really wants him to, and walks Jules in. But in this interview, how Stacey Reed did come across the story about this woman who did live like a man for her life, and it didn't, I don't know when it ended up being, when she ended up being revealed as a woman, if it was in her lifetime or after her lifetime, but she did come across that story, and then she wrote The Wolf and the Wildflower. So that is like truly interesting to me that happened. But because she did this, and then she wrote this, and I was like, wow. Anyway, I love this story. I thought this story was truly romantic. There's a lot of very subtle romantic parts in this, as I have said before. Also, I love the fact that they both gave up something for each other to be together, that they were both willing to give up something major to be with each other. So to me, this is just like one of the best books I've ever read from Stacey Reed. And this is like, this is top tier, like up there with My Darling Duke, which is one of my absolute favorite books from her. I love Stacey Reed. She's one of my go-to historical romance authors. I keep her, like Lisa Kleypas and Lorraine Heath. I'm slowly going through their list, okay? They're ones I will not binge. I will slowly keep going through their backlists. So, and then Lacey did a bunch of rereads, and she reread the one that I'm really interested in reading, and it's been on my TBR for a while. I really need to get to this, and probably the reason why I haven't gotten to it is because it's 736 pages, and it's not on an audiobook, and it's Whitney, My Love. It's not that it's an actual bodice ripper, okay? That's not what it is. That doesn't scare me. It's the length and that it's not on an audiobook. If I can get through the length and the fact that it's not on an audiobook, I probably would be able to get through it a lot more. This one is about Whitney, who was bought and sold to a duke. His name's Clay. He wanted her, and he offered for her, and her dad said okay, because he was going to basically pay for her. And it goes from there. Yes, there are definitely controversial scenes in here. I do have the edited version, and I do have the unedited version, and I'll probably read the unedited version because I want to know what the unedited version is like. So yeah, I know it's a slow burn, enemies to lovers, but 736 pages, and it doesn't have an audiobook. So yeah, and I know Sam from Books with Samantha, she really hates Judith McNaught, but I am so curious about this book. I know this is a real old school historical. Another one who did an old school historical was Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book. She read Teresa Medeiros, which is, and it was an American Western book called Nobody's Darling. This one took place in New Mexico in 1878. This one is Esmeralda and Billy Darling. Morgan gave 4 stars, and she said that the hero was very respectful. So I'm absolutely willing to give this book a chance, because I mean, 4 stars is a really good rating for an old school historical. And then lastly, just from Peace Love Books, she read an old school historical, almost 1995-ish, I think. It's To Heaven to Hold by Patricia Gaffney. I had this on my TBR for a while. Actually, I thought I had bought the book, then I didn't think I had bought the book. And then I realized that I actually do own the book when I was cleaning out my shelves. So yeah, I actually own the book. It's not a long book. So this one, she said she was going to DNF it and then she was going to give it 2 stars, and she ended up giving it 4 stars. The hero is incredibly unlikable in this one. That's what she said. And I'm going through Goodreads looking at everybody else's Goodreads reviews, and they're saying the same thing. That this is really a character study, which it makes me really interested, because I love a good plot, but I also love very character-driven stories as well. I love a good character growth in a book. So I'm absolutely willing to give this one a shot. I mean, if this makes her go from a 2-star to wanting to DNF to a 4-star, I'm curious. So I absolutely will be giving this a chance, and I actually do own the paperback. So yeah, those are some of the books that I took for recommendations from all the Booktubers historical romance vlogs from Sunday. Like I said, I'll have them linked down below. Anyways, if you've seen them, did you get any recommendations from them? If you have, let me know down below. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know that you've been here but you don't want to comment on anything, please leave me a pink heart emoji, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Happy reading, everybody. Bye.